Welcome class 12th. We have read about motional EMF which is produced in a rod moving on a conducting frame. Today we will see if the rod is to be moved on the conducting frame with constant velocity, then how much external force is required. What is the power dissipated? What is the power input? If the rod external force is not applied, what will happen? And if the rod, instead of moving left to right, it is falling freely, then what will be the acceleration? After some time, with what constant velocity it will fall. Also, moving rod on a conducting frame is to be understood like the train moving on the rails. So in the axle of train's wheel, whether this motional EMF will be produced or not. Aeroplane is flying at certain height, then across its wings the motional EMF will be produced or not. We will see all these facts today. And also, if the rod, instead of moving linearly, it rotates in the magnetic field, then how the motional EMF is produced. So let us begin. We have seen previously that in the cross magnetic field, which is uniform perpendicular to the plane inward, a conducting frame is shown like this and a rod is moving with the constant velocity v in this direction. We have taken this magnetic field B uniform, length of rod this is L, and suppose its name is PQ. We have read that this rod will be equivalent to a cell, and if length of rod is L and its resistance is R, then you can assume that the cell with its internal resistance, because the resistance R is of the rod, then rod is behaving like the cell, then its internal resistance can be shown by R. So this figure can be supposed to be equivalent of a cell, and since this conducting wire is of negligible resistance, we have shown here, and this cell has this polarity positive negative. How this polarity is introduced? You can explain. Lorentz forces on the free electrons. If the rod is moving in left to right, then all the free electrons, they feel Lorentz force and they accumulate at this point, so this becomes negative potential, and electrons are detached from those atoms which are like producing positive ions, that is equally positive charge, so it is an P. So this rod is behaving like the source of electrical energy or cell. You know, inside the cell current flows from negative to positive terminal. Here, since the rod is moving due to Lorentz forces, we have seen the polarity. So the current is moving from Q to P within cell or within rod and outside like this. This all we have seen, and we have determined the motional EMF BLV produced in the rod due to its motion, where BLV all are perpendicular. Now the question is, for the rod moving with constant velocity, is there any external force required? Yes or not? Look, if the rod is moving and the current is flowing in the rod, so if a moving conductor, current carrying conductor, is moving in a magnetic field, what happens? We have read the force acting on the current carrying conductor, that is magnetic force, is given by F equal to L cross B. Here L and B are perpendicular, so you can write LB sin theta 90 degree and sin 91, so this will be the ILB. In what direction this force will act? On the rod. This rod is equivalent to current carrying rod, it is moving in the magnetic field, so it will experience a force, and the value of the direction of force can be determined by Fleming's left hand rule. Look here, this is the magnetic field and the direction of current within the rod from Q to P. So look the thumb. So due to the motion of rod, it experiences the force equal to ILB in this direction. So what I told, that if the question is asked that is there any requirement of external force, so that rod is supposed to be moving with constant velocity. Constant velocity means net force 0. What will be your answer? Yes, whatever is the force acting on the left side, look here on the rod on this side, same amount of the force is required on the rod acting on the other side, that is from opposite to the magnetic force. And this force, that is external force, is same as magnetic force acting on the rod. On this force is external force, because now the net force will become 0 and the rod is supposed to be moving with constant velocity v. What is the power input? So the power is, it is power is given by work done per unit time. So if per unit time work done is power, so what we can find, how much work is done by external agent which is applying this external force on the rod. This force can be written as, suppose the small amount of work done in displacing the rod through dx. Suppose the rod comes in this position after certain time dt, then this dw work done will be what? F external into dx, force into displacement, and again you can find the force and displacement in the same direction. So f dx cos theta cos 0 will become 1. What can you say here? This F external is ILB, so you can write here this IBL dx. And what is power input? Work done per unit time. Therefore power input can be written as, this is I B, what is this, L dx. What can you write for L dx? You can write L, and this dw by dt you can write here. So this is dx by dt, and what is dw upon dt is power input. So IBL, this is V, dx by dt is V, dx displacement in dt time. This is the power input, and you can write in place of I, we have seen what is amount of I. Look here, I is EMF upon resistance. This is negligible resistance, only internal resistance. So I will be BLV upon R. Put here, so this BLV upon R into this BLV. What will you get? B square L square V square upon R. What is this? F external. If you write I, so you can also write this B square L square V upon R. So F external in terms of BLV, power input in terms of BLV and R, EMF in terms of BLV and I. These four relations you have to learn, because they are very important when the question is asked to draw the graph. One question is asked here, that if in such a field, this is the frame here, and the magnetic field exists till this distance, suppose this distance is 0 and initial this distance is b, then this distance is 2b, this is suppose x axis, and the rod is supposed to be moving from beginning in this direction with the constant velocity v. This is the same rod PQ of length L. If the magnetic field is uniform and it exists here, then you can say this in this question, if the rod covers the distance b, then magnetic flux increases because area increases. Suppose it comes after some time here, then here, then here, then more will be the area. Area increases, and you know EMF is minus d phi by dt, so EMF tends to decrease it. Question is asked that if this rod is moving from O to B, then B to 2B, then again 2B to B and B to O. So for O to B, B to 2B, then 2B to B and B to O, what will be the graphical expression for flux, EMF, external force or the force acting on the rod, and the power dissipated? Plot the four graphs. This question has been asked in the board examination. Then how will you plot the graph? Look here, I will take the axis y at which all these four quantities are to be plotted, and then I will find the graph for flux, EMF, force and power. How will you find the graph? Look here, we have seen that EMF is minus d phi by dt, F is B square L square V by R, and power is B square L square V square by R. This EMF is also BLV. All these four expressions we have derived, and these four parts are to be plotted. So look here that if you take the flux first, how will you find from this point? Suppose you take, this is the point O or 0, you can say this is B, this is 2B, again you are going up to B, then again you are going up to this. This rod is returning back to O. Look the motion, O to B. O to B, flux increases because area increases, so the electric flux increases from O to B. It has certain value here, you can write here. Then B to 2B, flux will remain same because no magnetic field, no change in flux. Then 2B to B, when the rod will return back, again the same, there is no magnetic field, so flux will remain same like this. And from to B to 0, what will happen? Area is decreasing, flux will decrease. So the graph is like this. What about EMF? What is the formula? Minus d phi by dt. If flux decreases, EMF is produced in such a way that it tends to increase the magnetic field. It tends to increase the flux. So if this is the graph showing EMF, so from 0 to B, for 0 to B flux is increasing, then here again you plot the point, the same points here, then 0 to B the flux here increasing, so EMF will be produced but in negative direction. And since flux is not changing here, so flux will not change up to this point. This is B to B and B. No change in flux, no production of EMF. Flux is decreasing, then EMF will have opposite direction. So EMF tends to increase. So this is the graph. This is the graph for EMF. Similarly, what about force? So you know, if you plot the force, and if the rod is moving, then you know force is acting on this direction, and this formula IBL, from IBL you have got this relation. How will you plot the force graph? Same as that of EMF. This is the graph for force. You will find this is the point B, this is 2B, this is B, and this is O again. So similar will be the graph for force, that is this one. What about power? You know, power is dissipated as per Lenz's rule. The power is dissipated in the form of heat, and whatever is the work done, from where the power comes. If the rod is moving, how the power is, you know, the external agent is doing some mechanical work. That mechanical work is converted into induced energy and electrical energy. That is, power is dissipated as heat. So, what about power? You will plot the graph. So, look here that for the power, the graph will be, since the power is dissipated, power is produced in the form of heat. So, you will find the graph for power. In the first case, there will be no flux change, no EMF, no power generated, but here when the rod comes from again B to 0. So, in which case the power is dissipated always when the rod moving from 0 to B, then from B to 2B, to B to B, no change, and B to 0 again. So, these 4 graphs are to be plotted and explained. I hope you have understood. Now, if the rod is moving, in the next question I am saying that the rod is moving here with the constant velocity in the uniform magnetic field. So, suppose this is the rod and it is moving on the conducting frame. So, this is the rod of length L, resistance R, and this is PQ, length of the rod. It is moving with constant velocity, and we have seen we have to apply certain external force to maintain this constant motion. What will happen if you don't apply the force? After some time the rod will stop. If you don't apply the force, then due to the motion of the rod in this direction, the force is ILB, and this force is retarding actually the motion of the rod. The velocity of the rod will decrease, and after certain time it will be stopped. Will it be or not? If the rod is moving with constant velocity, nobody is applying force on it, then the rod will stop after certain time because this force will remain present. So, what is the retardation? How will you find? If the mass of the rod is m, then what is retardation? You know, retardation is F upon m. What will you write here? This is ILB upon m, or you can write here what is force. We have read the force in terms of BLBR. So, you can write B square L square V upon R into m. This will be the retardation. You can also ask in the competitive examination that after certain time what will be the new velocity which is decreased, but what will be that velocity? Then how will you find? You can write velocity acceleration as dv by dt. Then if a is dv by dt, you can find velocity in terms of time. Acceleration can also be written by as dv v dv by dx. Then by this, using this expression, you can also find the velocity in terms of the distance covered. Another case, I think you must have understood this. What is this? Retardation. You have to put here this minus sign because rod will be retarded if no external force is applied on it. So, its velocity will be decreasing. Instead of linear motion in the horizontal direction, suppose the rod is falling freely, no constant velocity. Here it was constant velocity. Now the rod can slide over the frame, and the frame is again put in the magnetic field. So, if the rod is falling freely, what will happen? It will fall. Who is attracting? Earth. So it will fall due to acceleration due to gravity due to its own weight. What will happen here? If the ends of the rods are again this PQ, then which force will act downward? That will be the weight of the rod. This is mg. And we have seen if the rod is falling due to its weight, and this force will always act F equal to BIL in the opposite direction due to motion of the rod. Again it will become like this cell, and you know if the rod is coming downward, which end will be at the positive terminal? Look here, this will be the at Q end will be at positive terminal. So this will be the direction of current, and you can find this will be the FILB. What will happen? You can write here that this mg will balance this F, that is ILB. Then if the rod is falling freely, then what happens? What will be its retardation? How will you find retardation? Since F is acting upward and this is acting downward, so if it is asked that this is downward and this is acting upward, what will be the velocity of rod after certain time, or retardation of rod? Why the retardation? Because this force is acting upward. That retardation will be given by this mg downward, ILB upward. So you will write mg minus ILB upon m. So by using this expression, you can find the acceleration or retardation in the downward direction. What will happen? After some time, you will find that upward force and downward force, they will balance each other. Now what will happen? The rod will start falling with constant velocity. Find that. What will be that constant velocity? If the rod will fall after some time, when these forces, upward force F and downward force mg, if both will become same, then suppose constant velocity is suppose Vc, how will you find what will be Vc? Simple, you will put this mg equal to ILB. ILB, you know, this is the force which can be written in terms of B square L square V by R. Here you can also put this value, so you can find A equal to m common here, this is G minus ILB. In place of ILB, this is force, you can write B square L square V upon mr. Here what will you write? This both expression will become same, and in place of ILB directly you put B square L square, this Vc upon R. So what will be Vc? That constant velocity with which the rod will fall, that will be mg R. R is the resistance of rod upon B square L square. So I hope that using these expressions you will be able to solve how the rod is moving, in which direction, what is retardation, with what retardation it will fall, after some time with what constant velocity it will fall, or what is the external force required. Now we will see like the rod. Suppose this frame is like the rails and the train's wheels are running as along the axle is connected on the wheel. So P and Q are supposed to be ends of the axle. Motional EMF will be induced or not. Look, if the train runs, which magnetic field lines it will cut? Vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So yes, there will be the small amount of motional EMF produced between the ends of the axle. Similarly, you can assume that if the aeroplane is flying at certain height and if its wings are along the north-south direction or east-west direction, then you can find that the wings of the aeroplane, they also cut the magnetic field and EMF will be produced across them. And if it is landing down then what will happen? Its wings are in the east-west direction, then they will cut the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. The motional EMF will be produced, and if the wings are in the north-south direction, then no motional EMF will be produced across the wings. Similarly, if the rod, any conducting rod, it is falling in the east-west direction, suppose it is falling, then EMF will be produced because it will cut again the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. And if it is falling like this north-south direction, its ends are in the north-south direction, then no EMF will be produced. Now we will see, instead of rod moving linearly in the magnetic field, if the rod is rotating, I am taking a rod which is rotating in the magnetic field. Suppose this is the rod, again its end P and Q, and it is rotating in the uniform magnetic field B about P. What will happen if the length of the rod is L? First of all, you find, suppose the rod rotates in this way, angular velocity omega. Look, any point you consider at this point or this within the rod, larger will be the distance from P, more will be the R, and you have read the relation V equal to x omega, where x is the distance of that point from the hinged point P. Rod is moving about P. So, more will be the linear velocity of every point which is far away from the P, but all points will move along with rod with the same angular velocity omega. Now we have to find whether EMF will be induced or not in the rod. Look, suppose at the distance x from P, we consider a small element dl, dx. What will happen? If we take dx here like this, length of the rod is dx, well, this is it is moving. Look, this is the direction of velocity, we can say linear velocity, and this is the magnetic field. What will you find? Look here, that V cross B, this end will become positive. Look, the thumb, fingers are V to B, B is perpendicular inward, this is V. So, V to B, look, this end will become positive and this end will become negative. Then what will you write? The small amount of EMF induced in the rod, suppose this is dE. What will you write? Motional EMF we have read, BLV. So, what will you write here? This is B, L is what? dx, and V is V, so VV dx. What will be the net EMF? You can integrate it. What will you find? If this is the small EMF produced in dx length, then what will be the total EMF produced? What will you do here? That you write here 0 to E, that will be net EMF. What will you write here? This is dx, a small element. What is total length? L. So, this is 0 to L. You will get BVL. Which end will be at the positive terminal? Where the end of this thumb. So, you will find here that this is the motion of rod. So, this P end will be at positive terminal, will show like the positive terminal of the rod, and Q will be polarized as negative. Now, another way how to get this expression, motional EMF. You know, this is BVL, this is dx we have written. So, we can also write here, this is 0 to L. In terms of omega we have to find. So, you will write B. What can you write? V x omega. This is V equal to x omega. So, this is x omega dx. So, what will you find? This EMF as, you know, B omega, what is x dx? X square by 2, and what are the limits? This 0 to L. So, finally, you will get EMF equal to half B omega L square by 2, L square, this is by 2 here. So, this is the motional EMF produced due to rod's angular rod is moving with constant angular velocity, that is rotational motion of rod. You can find the same expression as per the numericals given. I am giving you the simple expression. Suppose this is the rod, and if it covers certain distance due to its motion in the magnetic field, so the new position of the rod becomes like this from the point P. Earlier it was Q, now it is at Q dash. Suppose it covers certain angle theta. How will you find the same expression, motional EMF? You know that for whole one complete round, the area is pi r square. R is here L, so you can write here pi L square. Will be or not? If the rod covers the complete round, then what will be the, it will form a circle. Then what will be the area for 2 pi radian? You know, what is the total angle? 2 pi radian at the center in the circle. So for 2 pi radian, the area covered or described by the rod, area described equal to pi L square. Okay, where L is the this. Therefore for theta rotation, what will you find? This area will become pi L square upon 2 pi into theta. What will you get here? This half L square theta. What is EMF? In this topic, EMF is from the Faraday's law. EMF is d phi by dt. We have read. What will you find here? This is phi. How will you write this d phi by dt? Phi is BA, so this is B into what? This half L square theta. So since phi is this, therefore d phi by dt, how will you find? You will write here this d phi by dt as, look, EMF will be d phi by dt, or this will be B by 2 L square d theta by dt. What is d theta by dt? Rate of change of this theta is called angular displacement, and this omega is rate of change of angular displacement, that is angular velocity. You put here, so again you got the relation half B omega L square. So using this expression, you can find also the rod is rotating in the magnetic field, then how much is the magnetic field emotional EMF produced across its ends. This rod is behaving like the cell. An interesting case, suppose this rod is moving and not at the end, instead of end, suppose the midpoint is O and this is end Q. Now in the uniform magnetic field, suppose the rod is moving about O. Can you tell what will happen? Look, the rod is moving in the uniform magnetic field, not moving, instead you will say it is rotating. So suppose this is rotating about O, Q and OQ and will rotate like this, and PO and will rotate like this. How will you find? The same omega is there. What will be the potential at the point P and Q? Can you tell? Look here, for the end OQ, this OQ is of length L by 2 and this end is moving upward. So upward means this O will be at positive terminal. Look how I am saying. Look, this is B is downward, this is thumb is coming towards O. So for OQ, you will find that O will be at positive terminal and Q will be at negative terminal, and this is the end L by 2, magnetic field is B. Then what is VO minus VQ? That will be, we have read half B omega L square, so half B omega, in place of L you can write L by 2 square. Now for this end P to O, if the rod you take another end P to O, then what will you write? This is P, this is O, and it is moving like this in the same magnetic field. Look here, now the thumb will come across O. This is the direction of motion. So what will you write? This Vp minus Vo. This thumb will come across O, sorry, this is O will be at higher potential. So you will write here, this will become Vo minus Vp. And what is this? Same. Here you have written Vo, Vq, and here this is, since O at positive and P at negative, so it will become same half B omega and same length L by 2, so L by 2 square. What you see here, that both the expressions are same. It means these two are same. So you will write this Vo minus Vq as Vo minus Vp. And what important point you come to know here, that this is Vo minus Vq. Can you find that this rod can be shown equivalent to a cell having for this O terminal and this is negative terminal, and for PO again you can find that this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. So the whole rod can be supposed to be equivalent of two cells having their positive terminals connected together like this. What will be net EMF? 0. And what you are observing from here, that these two terminals which are negative terminal and these are positive terminal, positive are connected, so net EMF is 0. That means at the end P and Q, whatever is the potential is same. And you can also find here that Vp minus Vq will become 0, which implies Vp as Vq. What I mean to say, that both the ends of the rod, if rod is rotated about the midpoint, will be at the same potential. And why I told this example to you, because it gives you a very important conclusion. What conclusion you can draw from this? Suppose there is a cross magnetic field in which this rod is there. Okay, now this rod is moving with the angular velocity omega about the midpoint O, and this name are AB and CD. What will you write? VA will be equal to VB. Just now you have seen. I will put another rod, look, in the same magnetic field, and these two portions are same. Suppose this is CD, then what will you find? VC equal to VD. Put another rod, then what will you can say? Suppose this rod is EF, so that will be VE equal to VF. So if all the rods are joined in such a way that they are making a disc, then at the circumference at each point potential will be same. So in between any 2 points potential difference will be 0. Such type of questions are asked, and not any two diametrically opposite points. All the points for C to B or B to F, any 2 points potential difference will be 0, or the potential at each point will remain same. Now I hope you must have enjoyed that when the rod is rotating, instead of moving linearly, if the rod is rotating, then what is the expression for motional EMF, and all the rotating rods will form a disc. At the circumference of each and every point, the potential is same or potential difference is 0. I hope you must have enjoyed it. Thank you.